What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a little bit of a look at the top 10 most expensive, most valuable cards that are coming around, or that have come around, I should say, in Booster 1.0. As we sit here, we are a little way away, like a week and a bit away from the release of Booster 1.5. So at this stage, it's probably about fair to, well, have a look, run some numbers, see what the best cards are from Booster 1.0. Now, gigantic caveat here from me, we are talking about a new game with a new player base, which hasn't been out very long, hence the new part, and where supply has not been out there to meet demand. So I've been digging around a bunch of stores that sell singles, the ones that do. I've been digging around eBay solds. I am giving you a rough estimation of the approximate value of these cards. This is not intended as a cast iron price guide. Prices will change all the time. Every price I'm going to give you for any of these cards, I've seen it sold higher, and I've seen it sold lower. But the ones at the real top end are probably people desperate for the card right now for a physical tournament, and at the lower end, it's people pricing it too low or short auctions or whatever. So this is the best information we have. Please take it with a pinch of salt. As a comparison and a list of the 10 most valuable cards, this should be pretty accurate. As a price guide that can be actually relied upon to perfectly price cards for weeks and months to come, probably quite a bit less so. But with all that borne in mind, let's start off at number 10 with the alternate art secret rare METALGREYMON. Now, this confuses me a little bit. I'm not entirely sure about this one, because here's the thing, right? Everything about this card screams should be super valuable. You've got a secret rare card, hard to find. You've got the alternate art version of a secret rare, which is an extra level on top of it. You've got METALGREYMON, who's a pretty popular Digimon, and you've got a playable card which has popped into a bunch of decks. Security attack +2. Okay, fine, you lose 5 memory when you attack, but you should be taking out 3 security cards. You'll be fine. And then giving you an extra 3,000 power on your turn. Everything about this card looks like it should be really expensive. And yet, it's sitting here rocking 10th place with an approximate price of $35. And to be honest with you, right, as I was looking at this list, I could have replaced this with something like the alternate art Wargreymon, which is going for about the same price, but is an alternate art of a super rare, rather than an alternate art of a secret rare. Maybe it's not quite as good and seeing as much play as it could. Maybe it really is just that the other cards are more sought after, and it's not a reflection on this. In at number 9, we've got the alternate art flower cannon, which is generally rocking about $40. And the thing is, right, flower cannon is just a phenomenal card. It's a 2-cost option card that rests one of your opponent's Digimon. And please remember the rule in Digimon, whereby you can only attack a suspended, or resting as I called it, Digimon. So you essentially suspend them so you can then go and attack, and life is good. It sees play in a bunch of green decks. It will probably slow down a bit as we go through the next couple formats, if we follow Japan, but it's still a very good card that sees a whole bunch of play. And the other thing is, it's got really nice artwork featuring Rosemon, I think it's Rosemon, who's a pretty popular Pokemon. So you know what? This kind of makes sense. I don't think it is Rosemon, is it? It's Lilymon. I think it's Lilymon, ladies and gentlemen. It's blatantly not Rosemon. I've just actually looked at pics and blatantly is Lilymon. My apologies. Point is, people like it. In at number 8, we've got GALLANTOON. Again, we are talking the alternate art here, because the alternate art, you know, you get 7 super rares per box, and 2 alternate art / secret rare per box. So it shouldn't surprise anyone that when you're looking at the valuable cards, it is generally all alternate arts. Well, with 1 or 2 exceptions, we'll get there in a moment. But GALLANTOON here is just a really playable card. I mean, the art is awesome. People like GALLANTOON, but people like this. It's a popular archetype that people want to play in the 1.0 format. When you Digivolve, if you've got a red tamer in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 power or less. And when you're attacking, you trash one of your opponent's security cards for every 10 cards in their trash. It's a cool card that people tend to like. In at number 7, we've got the alternate art of PUEDMON. And again, this is just a case of it's the alternate art version of a popular Digimon that's seeing a bunch of play in the 1.0 meta. I should mention that this comes in at $45. Keep forgetting to call out the values. They are on the top of the screen instantly. They are in the little header there, so we will be fine. PUEDMON here is a very cool card because it's got retaliation. If you delete it, you go down with it. But if you play, and it is play not Digivolve, you can then play up to 2 level 4 or lower purple Digimon from your trash without paying the memory cost, although play effects don't actually activate. But the most level 3 purple Digimon at this stage don't have play effects anyway, so we're fine. It's a cool card. It's got retaliate. It lets you play 2 cards for free. It's the alternate art version. What more do you want? In at number 5, we've got the regular art of Beelzemon. Now, this comes in again at about $45, and I should mention, you've seen this a couple of times, where I'm listing cards separately while attributing the same value. The reason is trying to find an exact value is basically impossible. So what I've done is look at a bunch of online stores and a bunch of sold listings and gotten what looks to be roughly an average value of the card. Again, I've seen plenty sell above and plenty sell below. Where I've got cards like Beelzemon and alternate art PUEDMON, yes, I am saying that they both come in at around about $45, but I'm saying that from the looking around that I've done, Beelzemon generally tends towards the higher end, PUEDMON tends to aim towards the lower end, so generally it is going to be cheaper to pick up a PUEDMON than it is going to be a Beelzemon. And Beelzemon here is pure playability. You'll notice that the regular art METALGREYMON didn't make it on the list, the secret rare, and the alternate art secret rare METALGREYMON only made it into number 10. This is a regular art secret rare that comes in all the way up at number 6. And it should, because it's awesome. It's got a fairly ridiculous skill, whereby if you've got 10 or more cards in your trash and purple are good at self-milling, your Impmon, your level 3 Impmon, can Digivolve into this card for a 4 cost. So you can Digivolve your level 3 into a level 6, but you're paying the same memory you would if you were Digivolving from a level 5, not a level 3. It's a little bit dumb. Oh yeah, and when you Digivolve, you delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. This is really at the heart of a lot of purple decks right now. It's a superbly playable card. That explains it. In at number 5, we've got the alternate art Lilithmon, which is generally coming in for somewhere in the region of $55. Now, I have seen multiple posts over on the official, the most popular Facebook group, the biggest Facebook group, about the best alternate art, and I have seen more than a couple people suggesting that the best of the alternate arts is this Lilithmon. I'm not in agreement, incidentally, but each to their own. And this is partly the artwork and partly the popularity, and it is partly the playability as well. When you Digivolve, if there are 10 or more cards in your trash, you may put 2 purple option cards from your trash to your hand, and when you play an option card once during your turn, you gain 2 memory. So if you want a purple option-y kind of deck, this is the one for you. In at number 4, we've got the alternate art Wargreymon, but it's the alternate art black Wargreymon, and this is going to be coming in somewhere in the region of $75, which is really getting up there. That's quite a big jump from number 5. And this one I'm not quite so sure about, because you see, red Wargreymon sees a bunch of play in red decks, but doesn't make the list. Now, this is admittedly quite cool. I mean, if you look at the design of the alternate art, people really like these style of alternate arts. You've seen a bunch of them on this list already. People are digging them. It's not a surprise that so many similar art cards are on here, because people are kind of all over them. But black really isn't a powerhouse meta deck in Booster 1.0 in that format. Now, I love this black Wargreymon. It's got reboot and blocker. So you can attack on your turn, but then get unsuspended for your opponent's turn. And then block and get unsuspended for your turn, and then attack, and so on and so forth. But black has really not been set in the Booster 1.0 format on fire. But Wargreymon is a spectacularly popular Digimon, so I really do think that is a large part of what's going on here. You've essentially got a really popular Digimon with a really cool alternate art style that everybody is digging, and that has basically added up pretty gosh darned quickly. Coming in at number 3, also at $75, but tending a little higher, we've got the alternate art Beelzemon, and this is everything I said before, but it's alternate art. Yeah, the artwork's amazing, but Beelzemon is one of the very, very best cards around at the moment. This is not particularly a popularity contest Beelzemon is winning here. It is a playability contest. Beelzemon is a redonkulous card in terms of playability, and it is going to see a lot of play, and it is seeing a lot of play. Then you introduce the fact that it's an alternate art version. I mean, come on. This sounds pretty gosh darned ridiculous. In at number 2, and I'm going to be honest with you, if you've been following this game at all, you've probably guessed what numbers 1 and 2 are. But in at number 2, it is Omnimon. Regular, ordinary, everyday, run-of-the-mill Omnimon. The thing is, in the Booster 1.0 format, the two best decks are Blue Omnimon and Red Omnimon. If you look at the results of Booster 1.0 format, tournaments, we're not talking entirely Omnimon, there are other decks, but these are by far the two most playable, most impressive, most winning decks, and they are both featured around Omnimon. Omnimon is firstly 15,000 power, which is huge, can evolve from red or blue, which again is a pretty nice thing, because it means you can have blue and red decks with it. And when you Digivolve, you name one of your opponent's Digimon, and that and any Digimon that share a name with it go down. And when you attack, you can put a level 6 from under it into your hand to unsuspend Omnimon, which would of course either mean you can then attack again, or you can leave yourself active going into your opponent's turn, so they cannot attack you. Bearing in mind, you can only attack suspended Digimon. It seems pretty good. And honestly, it is pretty good. It is the best card around. Which means, obviously, then at number 1, with a whopping $180, it's the alternate art Omnimon. Because it's Omnimon, and everything I just said about Omnimon is true. And then you add in the alternate art of it as well. That is going to push the price up very, very quickly indeed. Yeah, this is a card that you're probably going to want to pull. If, however, you want to buy this Omnimon, hold your horses till supply picks up. I expect all of these prices to go down over time as supply does get more plentiful. Digimon have already told us that they are going to be printing a lot more. And I've done videos explaining why they basically had to always do this. So, yeah. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, just expect this to keep being reprinted. The price of this is going to go down and down and down. You have been warned. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this. I want to know which of these cards you pulled, which you bought, how much you paid, which you sold, how much you sold them for, if you're willing to share the information. I want to know what you're willing to tell me, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far, the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.